Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. We're going to start our ongoing meditation session now. You can keep relax your body, your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. Do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, we'll take few minutes to clarify ourselves how this practice can help for us. So, when we develop skills, that is skills, we bring from another name, that name called techniques. So what we call technique is the skill we develop to increase our abilities. So meditation also kind of like a way of mental technique that you can practice to develop your awareness. And then when it comes to techniques, it is universal. So you have to learn it properly and apply it to your life. So then you can get the benefit out of it like the all other enlightened masters had it. So when it comes to our human life, that we have to see why we have to practice meditation like this. And when it comes to our day-to-day life, that what we really experience as our life come out of our own thoughts. So your life covered by your own nature, not something else. That nature means the ideas you already develop in you. So then you experience it as a life. And then you live with it. And then you repeat it and then it gets nourished again and again. And then we maintain it. And that is where we become more comfortable. But when it comes to our very natural life, that whatever happens to us, it always happens in a very brand new way. But our mind get it with the certain kind of repetition. So that itself allow us to experience the same thing again and again and again. So it is actually not happening outside, it happened really inside our mind. So if you able to break down that and get out of that mental patterns and experience the nature as it is, and then inside you also there is a nature that always go moment by moment and changing. So outside world, it happened that the change, and inside also the same, there's a change happening. So if you able to come to a point to balance that, and then what will happen? There is no collective nature going to be inside us. But by thinking, we cannot get into that. It is not a kind of like a intellectual way of achievement. You have to get into it by experience. So then that's why we need the technique to get into that experience. So the techniques that we develop here, observing the inhalation, exhalation, and tuning to the present moment, not following the past experience, not thinking any kind of ideas, or not hold it to any believing. So just simply, so what you experience in the moment within yourself, following your inhalation, exhalation, and just recognize it. That recognition will help you to get into a very new understanding. So this human nature is very, very kind of like a beautiful. It has a kind of like a very natural way of behavior. If you're able to understand that, and you can gain something better than what you experience. So, as you know, when you're going to buy a house, or that we look for utilities. So the utilities, water, power, gas, so these kind of things. And once you have that, it makes your life more comfortable. Then your living become very easy. But the water, power, gas, those are not going to bring the life. Those are going to certain help. So you get the help out of it and build the life. So the techniques also not the wisdom. You have to understand that. Observing inhalation, exhalation, and so when it comes to the vipassana, that for foundations, contemplating in that the sensation, contemplating the pain, contemplating the mind, contemplating the phenomena, and even the loving kindness meditation, the compassion, and so all the meditation techniques is kind of like utilities. It is not wisdom. So you have to develop a method using these utilities to gain the wisdom. So gaining the wisdom doesn't mean you create something. You bring it to a point to experience. So only the human can do this. Other animals cannot do that. So as you know, maybe that this completely, that what you experience, that when it comes to meditation, it's deeply, you have to understand in the very first level, it is a kind of like a change your brain chemical. Not only the meditation, whatever you experience in day-to-day life, it go with your brain chemicals. And then after that, it affects for your whole nerve system. So that in human body that we have DNAs. So that DNA kind of like 20,000 genes we have. So some kind of onions have 40,000 genes. So then that we are not that much that complicated. We have only 20,000 genes, and then the some vegetables, onions have 40,000, sometimes more than that. But with this 40,000, there are certain called junk DNA. So this junk DNA bring a certain abilities. That is why we live. That is why your enlightenment is possible, because of the junk DNA. So that, as you know, all other animals, when they born, they already come with the format. They come with the format and they cannot go beyond it. And most of the animals, when they born, they already build up to live with it. But the humans not like that. So the human life is not pre-programmed. It has ability to change. This is the beauty that you have. You have ability to adapt. That is the power of human nature. So that's why you can achieve things. But the thing is this, in day-to-day life, we are caught up in the imagination, and with that imagination, we achieve to our imagination. So there are two kinds of wisdom. That, like as example, you can close your eyes and you can imagine, oh, I don't want this anything, that I want to be completely different. So, environment. So there is a possibility that you can. Why? Because your very nature to change. And then sometimes that imagination ourselves, what we does, that what we see here around us, we imagine to build up that what we see. So as example, I imagine to get a better computer. So then that means this computer, I just repeat it. And I imagine to bring a different singing ball. I imagine to bring a different lights, and I imagine brings to different Buddha statue. So it is possible. This is what we keep doing in our life. That is the very nature of conventional life. It comes out of your imagination. So then you have to understand the very key point, what you imagine is possible. So then you have to be very careful with your mind. What is going on inside your mind? Because here, if you are cuckoo, you know, then what will happen? You experience your day-to-day life like that. And you cannot blame to others. This all like the mirror that it reflects our own mind. So that is one kind of power that you have. It's a wisdom. Once you know that, you can change. Some people knowingly do it. Some people without knowingly, they go with it. So what is the other side of the wisdom? That one is go with the conventional life. So listen this very carefully and be with me and catch it. So you can imagine and then you can experience it. as reality. When it comes to vipassana, your enlightenment means what? So in the very first level, you saw something, you close your eyes, you imagine it, and then you open your eyes and you bring it as a reality. That is what called power. If you're able to bring your imagination to reality, you call it power. You are powerful. And when it comes to vipassana, what's the wisdom you gain? So before that, we have to go backward again and become very clear what we see as reality. Because if you catch this, it is a very key point. And then it will help you to twist the matrix that what we experience. The matrix is kind of like a, mental web. So we are experiencing mental web, and it is very difficult for us to get out of it and experience something else. So we're living in this the mental web matrix, and get out of that and become free from it. It's a very advanced level of matrix level. So that is the kind of like the vipassana knowledge. So that's why you have to very slowly understand it. What we see, we take the picture, perception, and then we close our eyes, we imagine it. And then we open our eyes, we bring it as a reality. We bring it to nature. So then when we experience that, we take it as the reality, and then that reality, what happens again and again, you go with you. You close your eyes, you imagine, and then you bring it back to it. So then again, you see it again, you close your eyes, and you bring it back as a kind of like a new version. And then your children come, they see what you experience, and they start to follow the same method. They imagine it, and they close their eyes, and they live it, and then they bring it as a reality. So then your grandchildren come, and they see what is happening here, and they also imagine, and then they bring it back. So because when we born, we took this as the reality, but we didn't see the reality that what we see is an imagination from our grandparents. So when you practice vipassana, still that you understand that maybe the imagination can happen, because that's the very nature of life. And the imagination happens, maybe you bring it, these all things as nature, and you live with it, but you live with it knowingly. It is the result of imagination. You don't take it as a reality. So in the conventional life, we take the imagination as reality. In the vipassana knowledge, you see the reality, and you recognize it came out because of the imagination. And then what happens when you have that wisdom in your mind? Anymore, that imagination and reproduction not going to happen. And that is where your liberation happens. So otherwise, that what we imagine, we bring it as reality. It happened invisibly. It happened deeply, very silently. But once you recognize that whatever go through in your mind, whatever come to your mind, from there, it start to destroy, erase. And that is where you ain't going to happen. And that is where you're not going to belong to anything. And that is where you come to a point to experience the anti-fragile mind. That happen only in the Vipassana. Because we are very fragile human beings, that we fragile. Why? Because we always imagine and we trying to bring something, imagine we try to bring something because of we are so breakable. But once you recognize that deeper imagination, how become the reality, it will not happen out of your mind. And anymore, your mind not going to be disturbed out of anything. And that is where you develop anti-fragile mind. That is what you need. It is possible. But it takes time. It takes some inner behavior and understanding and the clarity that you have to develop day by day. Why? Because that psychology, there is a saying that fundamental attribution error that we have in day-to-day life, that internally, for me, that whatever the something that we do internally, if something is good, it is for me. And if something bad, it is for outside. So it is for external. If something good, oh, I done it. So it is, we go with the internal. And if something go wrong, and it is because of the outside, because of the others. So we have this behavior, and then we go with it day by day, day by day, day by day, and developing this self-centered experience and looking for our own comfort. And so we addicted to feel good. That's why we addicted to feel good. And that is what the life itself. And deeply, when you ready to feel good, when you go with it unknowingly, you don't see that you bound to, you belong to something. That's what the time, space matter. And that's the outside world. Just imagine for a moment, you close your eyes and you don't care about your feelings. Any demons cannot challenge you. Just try. You can experience it. You don't care any feelings. Forget about that. Even the good, bad, forget about it. You just close your eyes. You just accept anything. So the whole world, look, everybody, all the success, developments, even some people, enlightenment, look for what? We look for feel good. But deeply what happens? That when we look for feel good, we bound to the inner self-centered idea. And when you bound to inner self-centered idea, because it hold by the center, epicenter with the good, feeling good, and then whatever happen around it, if something come against it, If something challenge your good, what will happen? You're ready to fight. It's a natural behavior. It's naturally we react. If you don't react like that way, another way we call it kind of like you are not a man. You are not a man. So like that. And from the ancient time, that's why people fight for love. Not even the people, the animals. They do the same. In the whole animal world, if you know, they fight for sex. They're opposite partner. How that behavior? That the human also have that. Why? Because we deeply bound to feel good. And when we have that, what happens? Invisibly, we are in a prison. It's we ourselves build up that prison. So that's why we deeply start to observe rather than go with the feeling good, rather than holding and putting a seal on it, or this is good, this is bad, like that way. Because once you hold something, you have to remember, somewhere in this universe, something against going to happen for that. So if you hold as idea, this is good, somewhere in this universe, there is something bad start to arise according to that, what you hold. So when you hold as something, oh, I like it, somewhere in this universe, the opposite side start to arise. I hate this. So then once you hold it to feel good, what happens? Somewhere, whatever the feel bad going to wait for you. And then you already become a prisoner to unknown world. That itself we call the samsara. So then, rather than hold it to feelings, that's why in the Vipassana we observe the feelings. That is a challenge. You have to be very skillful person. That is what called technique you develop. Rather than hold it to it, go with it, you just observe and see the very nature of the feeling. And once you see the nature of the feelings anymore, that feelings you cannot name as good or bad. You name it as a good or bad because you didn't see it. How it come to be as it is. Any reason, not about the feelings. Even when it comes to fundamental law and law ethics, even in the human world or anywhere in the world, anything. If you see whatever the incident happened, and if you're able to see the entire diagram and an entire incident from beginning to end, from each and every angle, with all the timeline, if you're able to see, you know what happened? You will get out of the view that you hold, oh, this is wrong, this is right. Why we come to understand, oh, you are wrong, you are right, oh, this is good, this is bad, like that way? Because we have no capability to see whatever the incident from the beginning to end, from every angle with all the timelines. If you're able to see, you will recognize things happen according to necessary cause and conditions from each and every single millisecond by millisecond. And when you see that, you cannot take a person and tell, oh, you are responsible for this. Oh, this is something good, because you see it is just the end result. So I hope now you can get it, that where we are, this experience, because we experience the end result. We don't see the beginning. We don't see the way happening. We just go with the outside. It's a, it's a 1% out of, that all other 99% that we don't see. That itself we call ignorance. How you can come to a point just holding out of 99, just holding 1% out of 100. And how you can tell, oh, this is good, this is right, this is wrong, I like this, I hate this. How you can tell that? So that itself, that hold it to ideas, or the self-centered mind itself is called ignorance. But you are capable. Even though we have it, we are capable to go beyond. That's what you have to know. That is the beauty of the Buddha. That is the Buddha gave the wisdom to the world. You can change by yourself. Maybe there are many other ways, but 100% for sure, you are capable to change by yourself. You're born with that ability. So then gain that opportunity. Why you suffering? Why you have the pain? Why you struggling? Why you fighting? Why you develop the resistance with that? Because you have ability to change. So take that opportunity. Look into it and see where you can get out of this mental web that you already experienced. And there is maybe more better way of life is waiting for you. If you are so comfortable wherever you are, as who you are, it's up to you. We cannot tell, oh, everybody need to change. No, everybody no need to change. But if you look for the change, then there's the key. Then what is the key? And get out of your imagination. And just see this, everything that what we experience is the result of imagination. So in the beginning, we cannot see it. So that's why we have to come to develop undisturbed mind, which we call tranquility state. And so that's why we observe the sensation of inhalation, exhalation. And once you settle down and once you develop the tranquility state, and you have ability to see the mind, see the thoughts, see how this experience happening in us. Because if you don't have that ability, what will happen? What's come in will go out from you. That's the life. Whatever come as perception and go out of us from bodily, verbally, mentally action. Then what happens? You are bound to perception. You are belong to perception. So that's why without perception, people cannot live. They go crazy, even just closing their eyes a little bit. They feel like it's sometimes end of the world. And sometimes when there's no sound, some people get depressed. And some people, even when there is no touch, they feel like killing themselves. They need the sensation. They cannot live alone. They need a partner. Otherwise, they go crazy. Because we just go with the current coming in, the perception coming in, and then we release it as a bodily, verbally, mentally action. And then again, we go with this current again and again and again. And that is, we enjoy. And then we call it as, oh, I feel good. There's nothing else. Then maybe you are more matured than me, and look into your life. And so far that what you have done in your life. So whatever you heard, saw, smell, taste, felt, thought, you brought from your action with your bodily, verbally, mentally actions, and then you increase the current. And then you keep going, looking for feeling good, feeling good, feeling good. And that then you develop the magnet, the self-centered mind, and then keep going it. That's it. How far you have to go? There is no limit. There is no end. There's no timeline for that. And what the benefit you get out of it? No, you start to hold it to feel good, but you have to remember, and you have to fight for that. Why? Because when you hold something as feel good, there is something come. You give birth. You are the one who giving birth to something feeling bad. So then you have to fight for that, and you have to clean that to protect what you feel good. So then itself is kind of like a battlefield. But still there is a way we can live. No better than, far, far better than that. And that is this way. So in the beginning, you cultivate your mind to see things rather than go with it. Once you have that ability to see, that itself, you don't need the book, or you don't need the lectures, you don't need this kind of sessions. When you see, that seeing, that experience itself will take you to the next level. You have that wisdom. So only thing is, just try to tap into it. So for that, we have to little bit, get out of that our ordinary way of living, and just settle down for a moment and see that what you can experience. So that is what we're going to do now. And I hope this information will help you to clarify yourself that how this practice can help for us. So, but at the same time, you have to remember, when it comes to practice, the mastering the technique, you are your own teacher. You are your own guru, you are your own master. So don't cheat yourself, and don't be lazy yourself, and keep growing, develop the growth in you. Don't allow your mind to shrink. Let it open. So with that, your right palm on your left, neck head straight in one line, and your back straight, and bring your attention to your body. If it is possible for you, comfortable for you, you can gently close your eyes. So observe head to toes 3 times and say Sopateva, or may I be well and happy, 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalations in front of your nose and your upper lip area. So in the beginning, deeply and gently breathe out 3 times, please, and find the sensation. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. Do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this with clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away. Already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light to your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun. Spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dharma and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Also may all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata ca ammihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi Attaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadhi maranamha paribunjisami idammi punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.